started with our city council meeting for June 28th of 2021. If you've got a cell phone, if you turn it to vibrate or off position, that would be great. We're going to be streaming on YouTube, so just be advised of that. I'm going to call the meeting to order and ask for Clerk Hopper to lead us in our invocation, be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day and this wonderful opportunity to serve the people here of Rainbow City. I ask of you to give us, Mayor and Council, a servant's heart and mentality as we conduct business for the city. Also be with the workers and the rescue first responders in Florida who are still searching for survivors from the condo collapsing. And these things we ask, amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask our clerk to take the roll call.
Anita Bedwell. Here. Randy Vice.
Here.
Jeff Prince.
Here.
Jamison Jenkins.
Here.
Clark Hopper.
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Here. Number 5 is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 14th, 2021. I'd entertain a motion that we accept those minutes.
I make a motion. Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Number 6, we're actually going to insert the purchase of a new truck and from Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got the quote on June 21st of 2021 for Parks and Recreation for the director, Mr. Hollingsworth. The price of the truck is $37,905.55, includes the chassis and the napide truck bed. This is a 2021 Chevrolet 2500 Silverado, two-wheel drive crew cab chassis and cab and bed. I'd entertain a motion that we purchase this truck. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Number 6 is something that we will just pass over, and we need to extend this. We don't have any bids to accept for the 2019 Ford F-150 with the last 4 of 3843, and we're going to extend this period of time for people to put in sealed bids till July 12th, and I would ask that we do that extension in the form of a motion.
Second.
There anybody, any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 7 is dealing with the American Rescue Plan. Everyone knows that we received $1.78 million estimated that will come into the city and allow us to do some very specific things, but also some things that we can reach out and start doing some things in the community that we wouldn't normally have the money for. We, along with our clerk, along with my office, have set up a separate checking account. We were advised to do so that we don't have any commingling of our money. And I would make a motion that we are willing to accept that money from the American Rescue Plan.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 8 is to authorize me, Mayor Taylor, to sign the AT&T Video Services Agreement to expire on December 31st of 2030. I'd entertain a motion that you allow me that authorization.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 9 is to let our record show as a point of information that Skylar Trainer is part-time in animal control. Her last day worked was Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. I've got a copy here, my bad. And I'll need that in the, that's just a point of order. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Number 10 is to let the record show that a rate increase of $10.56 per household from Republic Services on a contract is effective 9/1 of 2021. This doesn't include our administrative fees that we have to be able to do our billing. So I'll be getting with and doing a little bit of a study to find out how that's going to affect us in the future. So that's just something that I would need in the form of a motion is for us to allow for that rate increase. Is
Mayor Joe, I'll make that motion that we table that until research is completed.
there a second?
Second.
There's a motion to table it. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 11 is a budget revision for the police department to increase. It's an increase due to a reimbursement from the state of Alabama for Cellbrite. It's a computer program, and it'll go into the equipment and tools account with that account number for $9,300. A motion to accept that budget revision.
Second.
Those in favor by saying aye. Number 12 is a sponsorship request for FCA Victory Banquet at the venue on July 28th of 2021. It's a table sponsorship for $200, and that would need to come up in the form of a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we sponsor a table for $200 for the FCA banquet.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We're also going to have to, as a point of order and just a point of discussion, we need to get some bids for an air conditioning unit that went bad at our community center, and we'll be putting it out for the Parks and Recreation Director to ask for some sealed bids on a 15-ton unit because it's estimated to go over the state bid limit. So I'd entertain a motion that we allow us to put this out to bid.
So move, and we'll open bids on July the 12th.
July 12th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I'm looking over my notes. I've scribbled so much in my margin. We're down to public comments. Is there anyone that'd like to speak? Anyone?
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to tell you guys, thank you for allowing the Parks and Recreation Department, to do the things that we have done. Just the past 3 weeks, we've fought a lot of rain or whatever, but pretty close to about 200 teams have been in the area. I won't necessarily say 200 teams have come through Rainbow City, but we've had 2 major state tournaments. We had 100 teams this past week. We had approximately 79 before that. And then the 2 weeks prior to that, we had 32 teams come in, through the rain or whatever. So it's been some trying times or whatever, but, appreciate you guys and the work that you have done previously to give us, a little bit of money to redo our fields, and it's helped greatly, and it's shown, and the guys have worked extremely hard over the past 3 weeks, to entertain approximately 200 teams in the area. So just wanted to let you guys know that we appreciate you guys doing that little bit and just giving you an update about how many people have been through Vivian Lee over the past 3 weeks. And then also, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but we will be doing here in the next few weeks, just Public Works Department will begin doing some more work around Park Lane or whatever, but it is asphalted, the French drains are in, so we got a little cleanup work to do around the area, so gates are open now for the public, and as a matter of fact, we've had 2 or 3 people, and I've seen some Facebook comments about how, it's how they are pleased with the work that has been done around there, and now it's not a trip and fall hazard anymore with the roots and all that good stuff, so just point of information for the public, and to thank you guys for investing in the quality of life in the area this much it shows.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, the park looks great. It's really turning around, and we've had a lot of people call in. And going back to the tournament time that you've had at Vivian Maddox, it's been incredible. I've gotten a chance to go down and visit and hear people make comments about our field and the quality of our sports complex, and it's really good to feel people and or hear people say that and how they feel about our recreation areas. Anyone else?
Mayor,
Yes, Tim Ramsey, he's the county commissioner for our area.
kind of sneaking in on the side, I would like to commend, the city on the park upgrade and all the work that's done there. I think it's really nice. Also, the utilities and the street department for the work they did on the road out there at the New Sports Complex, putting Lindsay and Kinsey streets together. That is a nice road and a very nice improvement to our community. I hope that, we can get the school traffic diverted to that somewhat in the fall and help with that aspect of a problem that we've had for 20 or 30 years. I don't know, as long as I can remember, we've had the school traffic problem. I'm hoping that alleviates a lot of that. So I just want to thank everybody for their input in the street department and utilities and all for the hard work in putting that together.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, that road's very impressive. I mean, it's ridiculously nice. And when you go out there and just see how wide open and how it's got really nice shoulders to it, it's a really good addition to our city. And we know that it's going to cause some relief for our school traffic. And I think our SROs are already talking about how they're going to be able to work with their traffic control and help us to relieve some of the traffic off of our.
When we're talking about the shoulders and the width of it, that was one of the things that we actually talked about in the preliminary planning of it, was to end up with a bike path beside it, and really a place the community can use that area, not just a street, but something the school kids could use for, getting out, getting to it, and biking. It's a really big improvement to our community. Thank y'all.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And we're actually doing some planning right now for the farther ends, the Lindsay and Kinsey ends, to be able to do some widening there and to make it a lot nicer for the residents that have put up with a lot of construction. And we really do appreciate them and what they've done. And being able to keep the streets' names, was critical. And we're going to be able to do that, and that's going to make for a really, really nice situation out there. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here also. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, something just came to me. I had spoke with Chief McKee, but I just wanted to tell you guys as well of the accolades of two of the medics that were on the scene pretty quickly. We did, obviously 200 teams that are in here, you got medical situations that could quickly arise, but we had a heart attack that was in progress. Literally, as the gentleman was sitting inside the park, he went and banged on the counter, and they gave him Tylenol. Obviously, he made it to his car, which Tylenol does no good, in that situation or whatever. But all I heard was somebody come in and said a heart attack. The nurse happened to be working there. I grabbed the AED. We go running out there. But by the time we got there, the medics were on the scene. So I know you guys hear a lot of the negative aspects of first responders or whatever, but, the quick response to this scene or whatever potentially saved the life of the gentleman. I think Chief McKee called me a couple of days later and basically said he had 2 stents put in, like that night or the very next morning or whatever, was gone within a day or 2. So very quick response from the medics and our first responders. You hear a lot of negative, you don't hear a lot of the good or whatever. So, thanks to, the chief and his staff and what they had done in potentially saving the life of what could be very tragic ending, right there in front of his kids and his grandkids or whatever. But because of him, he saved a life and he was able to go home.
That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, our fire department's an incredibly professional group, and I really appreciate what they do. Obviously, haven't been one, but we have a really, really good fire department. I also want to thank our police department that came out and did some traffic control just on a spur of the moment. They were, coming down the road, saw that we had a need there, and helped to be able to kind of relieve that at times, and that's really neat to see them jump in there and take care of our traffic control problem there when, getting in and out. That's a great problem to have, is to know that many people are coming to visit our city, and we're getting an opportunity to show them hospitality, and to know that our employees are jumping out there and making sure that opportunity for them to visit is the best that it can possibly be. And I appreciate that, Chief. Anyone else that have a public comment? I'll go over our announcement. Our City Hall will be closed Monday, July 5th, in observance of Independence Day. Garbage will be on its normal schedule Monday through Friday. So that's the announcements that I have. Also, we'll go to our our comments and announcements from our council members. We'll start with Mr. Vice.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. First of all, I just want to continue to commend the employees, the staff. No one in our community, I don't think, could possibly be outside of their house more than 30 minutes without seeing somebody working for them for Rainbow City. It's amazing, whether it's recycling, whether it's police protection, whether it's fire, whether it's parks and recreation, streets and sanitation. I had witnessed firsthand Michael Stevens out, breaking glass off the middle of the road. It's a state road. It should have been done by them. I guess they probably couldn't get to it. But just to protect the people's vehicles of Rainbow City, he's out there doing that in a really dangerous situation. So I was very impressed with that. I want you to know that. But I think, that just says a lot for the all of the folks that work for us and the ability, and they don't work for us, they work for the people of Rainbow City. And I truly appreciate that, and I can't say that enough. I also want to thank the residents of Rainbow City. It just seems to me that people are doing a great job being good citizens. You see people stopping on the side of the road, helping other folks, where you go to some other areas and people just drive on by. And I noticed that the other day too. So I'm proud to live in Rainbow City in every aspect of that. And thank you guys for what y'all do, and I want to thank all the people for what they do as well.
Thank you. Mr. Prince?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things real quick. Now, I won't be redundant, but I'd be remiss if I didn't do a little bit. About our employees, Councilman Vice is correct. We have the best. And the willingness to cooperate together between the departments is something that you don't see everywhere. And I know he probably doesn't want me to say this, but Chief Bryant, thank you for going down and helping with putting the cages together down at the animal control. He was not asked to do that. He just volunteered to go down there and help those ladies put those cages up, and they really appreciated that very much. The only other thing I have, I appreciate the council and the mayor on the sponsorship request for the FCA. I am a board member for Etowah County FCA. God is doing big things in Etowah County through Brian Mintz, who's our area director for FCA. He corrected me real quickly on that last week, so I'll have to say that. But this is one of the few ways that you have to get God into schools anymore. And it's totally student-led, but he is impacting every area of Etowah County, and I have challenged on social media, and I'll do it again, all the municipalities to take pride in that, and not only just this table sponsorship, and that's not a table for us to go sit down and have a meal. That's a table for a team and a coach to bring his players, a lot of them that probably couldn't afford to if you put a price tag on it. So I'm very appreciative for that, that we are sponsoring that. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Ms. Bedwell?
Thank you. We sit and we hear, and we're so appreciative of the city that we live in, the county we live in, and the area that we are in. We have good employees, we have good residents, and we are so very, very blessed. One of the things that I would just ask is that you would keep the rest of our country in prayerful, in your prayers, and because there are so many areas that are not blessed as much as we are, and they struggle so hard. We are just so very fortunate. So our country is in a bad way. So let's just remember those folks who don't get to live in Rainbow City.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yeah, Anita is so right. Every time even when you go on vacation to somewhere else that is nice, you become a lot more grateful for the hometown that you live in. And since we're not going to be meeting between now and then, I'm thankful to live in a nation that is free. Looking forward to celebrating that this weekend. Very grateful for the countless number of individuals who have gone before us and who currently provide us with that freedom. It is not free. It comes with a great cost, and I'm thankful for those that provide it. Thankful for all of our city employees. It's been especially cool over the last week to get so much positive feedback from the work that we're doing on Park Lane. Very grateful to Philip and all of our Parks and Rec department and the rest of our city employees that have been involved with that project. I know Jeff and I personally live in that neighborhood, and so getting to see that progress every single day has been really cool, and getting to hear from our neighbors about that has been really awesome. And I'll just reiterate a point that Mayor Taylor already made publicly this past week, but we're also grateful to the previous administration for being a good steward of our resources and providing us with the opportunity to be able to use these resources and to better them and to benefit the city. So that's all I have.
Mr. Hopper?
As a lot of us seen this week on social media, the Purple Onion finally arrived. And it made me think, as I was driving through the areas, of how we can market the city to get more retail here, more residents here. And it dawned on me, we're already in the process. The process began. Michael, your crew, working to keep the streets clean and the sidewalks in order, and our own citizens ought to stand up and get applauded because they're constantly working the yard. Once you hit the heart and soul of this city, we look so clean and so beautiful. You'll be surprised how that's going to hopefully down the road help us attract newcomers to move here, and hopefully retail to help us to where we don't have to leave here to go shop anywhere else. And that's been my goal since we took office, and I haven't stopped. And me and the mayor's talked on several occasions. And the beautiful city that we're in I'm just in awe this week of how, when I ride around, how clean it looks is the gist of it. And I'm just proud of everybody. Kenneth, what y'all guys do riding around with that picking up the recycling, I'll get it out in a minute. I'm proud of what we did earlier as far as buying the soil and netting to help with the baseball fields. That's amazing. When I come through there going to get something to eat, I get a little frustrated having to sit there and wait on about 10, 15 cars to turn left in front of me. But, but it's like you said, Mayor, it's a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of money that people's got to eat somewhere. And that's what's got me excited is what we're seeing right now, maybe the verge of an explosion. And it's exciting to see the citizens doing their part because I've never seen neighborhoods look cleaner than I have over the last few weeks. And with that, I can say I'm done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The last thing that I've got is that, happy Independence Day. Go out and have a safe holiday. Also to keep our Mayor Calhoun, that's a better way of putting it, not our former mayor, but Mayor Calhoun in your prayers. He had a little slight fall and is beginning to recover and is seeing his doctors as he should. And we just want to make sure that we keep him in our prayers. He is a big, big part of this city, and we want to continue to remember that as we go along. Also, just we have a lot of things going right now. We have a lot of things in every department where we're trying to plan out what we can do next, what we can do best for our city, and we're going to continue to do that. You'll see that beginning to roll out. We are in some discussions right now about putting together our master plan. We'll be calling on citizens to fill in some voids in some committees and have them to be able to be a part of this so that it's not just our idea, it's something that we can reach out to, not only our business people, but just the mom and pops on the streets, that they can come in and say this is where they see our city going and this is what they would like to see out of our leadership. And we're going to covet that, and we want that process to go smoothly, and we want it to be absolutely out in the clear so that people can show up and see what we plan for our city. Those things are going to be great. This city is unbelievable, and I know that everybody here knows that, and I know the people that are on our YouTube channel, we're doing our very best to bring ourselves into a technological age, and I promise you, most of us up here are struggling with that. We forget to turn on our microphones, and you'll have to forgive us of that. We're gonna have to get a microphone for our people over here in the nickel seats in the corner for them to be able to talk to us so that we can hear them. And I forget to repeat what they're talking about, but all they're doing is saying the same things that we're all saying. We love Rainbow City, and with that, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.